Have you ever met someone once, and years later you still remember them? Not because they were famous, not because they were the loudest person in the room, because there was just something about them. Then there are people you spend weeks around and forget almost instantly. So, what makes someone unforgettable? It's not money, it's not looks, it's not status. It's the way they make people feel. And today I'm gonna be showing you how to become someone people remember long after you've left the room. Most people try too hard, right? And they think being memorable means becoming the center of attention. So they talk louder, they interrupt, they tell bigger stories to stand out. They constantly try to impress everyone around them. Ironically, that usually has the opposite effect. People who constantly try to prove themselves often come across as insecure. Confidence doesn't need to announce itself. Real presence is quiet. The people who leave the biggest impression usually aren't performing. They're simply comfortable being themselves. People will always remember emotions. Now, here's something interesting. Think back to your favorite teacher, right? Or someone you genuinely admired. You probably don't remember every word they said, of course, but you remember how they made you feel. Respected, safe, inspired. This is how memory works. People do not remember conversations nearly as much as they remember emotions. Someone can forget your advice, right? But they'll never forget how you treated them. If every interaction leaves people feeling heard, respected, and understood, they'll remember you. And one thing you need to incorporate always, you have to learn to listen. Do you want to instantly become more memorable? Stop waiting for your turn to talk. Actually listen. Most conversations today aren't conversations. There are two people waiting to speak. The person who listens with genuine curiosity immediately stands out. Ask questions, maintain eye contact. Don't immediately make everything about yourself. People love talking about themselves. And when someone genuinely listens, they associate that good feeling with you. Ironically, the less you try to be interesting, the more interesting you become. And people just rarely remember someone who constantly changes depending on who's around, right? And we call that person a snake because they constantly change depending on who's around, right? And just adapting to the whole situation, which is very sad. Have values, have principles, stand by your word. Do not be fake. If you say you'll be elsewhere, show up. If you make a promise, keep it. Your reputation isn't built by what you say, it's built by consistency. Over time, people begin describing you, yes, you, with words like reliable, disciplined, honest. And that's unforgettable. Not because it's flashy, but because it's rare. And whenever you say what's on your mind, when you're not afraid to say and to speak what is truly on your mind, people will not forget about you. They will not forget about you. Now, if someone gets offended by what you say, of course, you should always try to be understanding. And of course, but you should always look at things logically. Think about the best outcome. Think about the best decision. What can you do so the situation can become good or anything, right? They will always remember how you made them feel. And usually, the people who are not afraid to say what is on their mind, they will always naturally, without even trying, stand out. And one habit I've always admired, me personally, is leaving people better than you found them. That doesn't mean solving everyone's problems, it means bringing positive energy, encouragement, respect, calmness. People naturally gravitate toward those who make life easier, not harder. Now, ask yourself this, right? When you leave a room, does the energy improve or does it disappear? Be someone whose absence is noticed, not because you're loud, but because your presence mattered. And social media has convinced people that appearing successful is more important than becoming successful. Success does not come overnight. You're gonna fail. If you wanna work on YouTube, your videos will flop. They will flop. It is a very, very rare chance that your videos are gonna have 10, 15, 20, if not 100,000 views. The first video you post, very, very rare. That is a very small percentage of people. You're gonna fail. You're gonna have failed shorts, failed Instagram accounts, failed YouTube, everything, right? You're gonna fail. But you just have to keep on going to become successful. But people obsess over looking confident, looking rich, looking important, but eventually image fades. Character doesn't. The people who are remembered years later are remembered because of what they posted online? No. They're remembered because of who they became. Every workout, every promise you keep, every act of integrity, every difficult conversation you handle with maturity. That's what builds a reputation. And your reputation follows you into every room before you even arrive. Now, being unforgettable isn't about making the loudest first impression. It's not. It's about leaving the strongest last one. You don't need to dominate every conversation. You don't. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need everyone to like you. You just need to become someone whose actions consistently match their words. Because at the end of the day, people won't remember what you wore, your clothes. They won't remember your followers. They won't remember every single sentence that you have said. They'll remember how they felt after meeting you. So here's a question, right? When someone thinks about you after you've walked away, what do you want them to remember? And that is the person you should become.